bring in our political analyst, David Maimela, just for his sense and his views. David, good afternoon. Welcome to today, and thank you very much for your time. I was just speaking to my colleague, Spamandla Gok in Kroonstad. He was interviewing one of the ANC's officials there, Mr. Dugwana, around this whole issue of the Free State provincial structure. They're not managing to pull together a conference. Will it matter if the Free State is not represented in next month's National Elective Conference of the ANC, or do you think the ANC is going to pull out all stops between now and then to make sure that the Free State does hold a Provincial Executive Conference and is able to send delegates to the conference?
Yeah, I think that then it may not matter much that the Provincial Conference is not sitting, because the National Conference is of the ANC, according to the Constitution, is a conference of branches. So if you do have branches that are in good standing from the province of Free State, then it means the province of Free State will be represented. However, it means that it goes in there without an officially elected provincial executive committee. And yeah, so that only signals the fact that administratively and in terms of organizing, the ANC in that province is not getting things right. But I think in terms of political meaning to it, it has got a very small impact or significance insofar as representation in the national conference.
Okay, now organizationally, what's the significance of the fact that the Free State is unable up to now to hold a provincial elective conference while other regions of the ANC have managed to do so?
Yeah, I think if I recall very well, it's actually not the Free State alone. I think the Western Cape has not yet gone to conference as well. And one is wondering whether it might just be Free State and Western Cape that may have to convene after the national conference. I'm not so sure. But what it simply means really is that the state of the organization administratively and in terms of its organizational machinery, it means that it's in disarray. You can see there is a sense of disruption of meetings, a little bit of violence in some of those meetings that are supposed to take place at branch level. And yeah, so it affects the readiness of the ANC in that province to go to conference, and it reflects badly on its image in the public.
Yeah, let's look at the politics of it all. The suspended Secretary General of the ANC, Mr. Ace Magashule, is from the Free State. What can we read from that? I mean, could this be signifying, for example, that he's still very much influential on the ground? Because Mr. Dugwana now, speaking to Spamandla Gok, he says they are still battling to deal with the factions in the Free State. Ace Magashule, is he a factor in all of this or not?
Yeah, no, I think it could somehow signal the declining influence of Ace Magashule, the suspended Secretary General, because remember, to the extent that the provincial conferences are important, they actually tend to signal the balance of forces insofar as the factional standing in the party is concerned. So to the extent that others may consider Ace Magashule to still be a very strong player in the politics of the ANC and as well as the politics of the Free State province, if the province is not organized to the extent that they have a provincial conference, they have a provincial executive committee elected, then he is unable to actually project the influence and the power he might still have in the Free State, because then nobody would know for sure whether a provincial executive committee that will come out of Free State would be in favor of Magashule or in favor of a faction that he supports.
Yeah, I guess if the requisite number of branches in good standing, as you say, from the Free State will be present at the 55th National Conference, they will be able to exercise freely their right to vote for whichever candidate they believe should be part of the National Executive Committee.
Yes, they will be able to do so, but what I'm trying to say is that the provincial conferences actually project the standing of factions in the party. So if you have more of if you have all of them going to the provincial conference, then you have more or less a projection of power, influence, and the direction of that province, and it can tell which leaders are more influential, which ones are more supported, and so on. So it's important that the conference sits for that political reason.
Yeah, but now I don't know how likely they're going to manage to sit. But as you said, it will hold no real sway in terms of what happens at the conference. If the Free State's branches, those that are in good standing, will be present there, they'll play a role as branches of the ANC from the Free State.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think if anyone who's trying to mobilize Free State is not such a big province, but influential somewhat, because if it comes there as a coherent province and supports a particular leadership lineup, then it can be impactful. But I think anyone who is trying to influence particular leadership outcomes, and hopefully also policy outcomes, anyone trying to influence a Free State should be focusing largely on the branches because they are going to be more important.
Yeah, so as you said, organizational is not just the Free State that has not held that provincial elective conference, the Western Cape as well. It's going to be interesting to watch what happens over the next few weeks. Thank you.